going on? Blunt heads, blunt world, blunt universe. It is me, your host with the most here to brag, boast, celebrate, and toast. Who that be? Tay the Loose Cannon Adams, aka Stephen Tay Smith. Want to thank y'all again for always liking, subscribing, and sharing to the Very Blunt Sports Podcast YouTube page, also the official Anubian Blaze YouTube music page. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff coming your way. 2022, we blazing through that year, still on the race to 100K. Thank y'all for getting me past 100 so far. Any small feat, anything that's an accomplishment, I accept. Like I said, without y'all, there ain't no me. Y'all the blunt universe. I'm just the leader of this world right now. Like I said, here to give you the facts, here to always be blunt, here to always be genuine, and just really thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? What we got coming up so far right now, I hear a lot of people, hold up, before I even get into the sports, segment of it, I do got a women's fan base, you know what I'm saying? And some of them ask me, why don't I say anything, about other stuff? Well, if you watch, I do report, on women's sports, but they told me, nah, not like that. Why is it so much, bravado? Why is so much, machismo? Why is so much, testosterone? Well, ladies, what you got to understand, sports is a male-driven competitive sport, so that's what I'm gonna talk about. But I am, for the whole culture, like I said, R&B and hip-hop. And since, the ladies complain, some of them complain that I don't, necessarily cater to them. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to cater to y'all right now. If anybody know a little bit of anything about the Verzus battle, just know that after Valentine's Day, February 15th, there will be another Verzus battle. Two R&B, heavyweights basically going at it. It'll be Musiq Soulchild versus Anthony Hamilton. I don't even know who I'm going with. I will be watching. You know what I'm saying? Me and my lady. Shout outs to her. How you doing, Ashley? But yeah, they both got some good music. Both put out good material. Both, timeless artists. People have gotten married to their songs. People done made babies to their songs. People done got engaged to their songs. One of my favorite Musiq Soulchild songs is Love. I like Half Crazy too. One of my favorite, Anthony Hamilton songs is Coming From Where I'm From and Charlene. And the point of it all, you know what I'm saying? I'm showing, my little softer side. I do listen to R&B music. It ain't just, shoot 'em up, bang, bang shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. Hopefully it's a good battle. Hopefully they on time, compared to everybody else, that's basically been half hour probably to an hour late. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if they late like that to a professional stage in a professional arena, some of your pay should get docked. Like if you ain't taking this serious, the performance of the music and the celebration of the music, then don't even do it. Just don't even do it if you ain't in it and you ain't doing it from your heart and you ain't doing it for the love of music. Showing up late, making the fans wait and all of that other shit. Like, if it was a concert and people was there in attendance, I would be one of those people asking for my money back if they was late. That's just it. That's just who I am. That's just what it is. But hope y'all enjoy that Versus battle between Anthony Hamilton and Musiq Soulchild. Now, getting on to some wrestling news. Yes, I'm a whole wrestling fan. My fans that watch this show, some of them like wrestling too, and they asked me to report more on that, and I told them I will. Now, one of the major pay-per-view events that just passed was the Royal Rumble. If you don't know what the Royal Rumble is, it's a men and women's event. 30 men, participate, throwing each other over the rope, and whoever the last one standing is the winner that go on to WrestleMania against the champion of their choice. Now, going over real quick, Bobby Lashley beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, making him a two-time champion. Seth Rollins won by DQ disqualification against Roman Reigns, so Roman Reigns still, retained his Universal Championship with. He's on record pace. He says he's in God mode right now. He has over 500 days as champion. So, hey, he calling himself the GOAT. Maybe he might be the GOAT of this era. Who knows? But that's just what it is. Now, in the Women's Royal Rumble, Ronda Rousey returned. If you don't know who Ronda Rousey is, she's a former UFC Women's Champion, a former WWE Women's Champion on the Raw side. That's the red belt. She won the Royal Rumble. And Brock Lesnar, who is also a former UFC champion, former, Universal champion, and former WWE champion. He came in and won the Royal Rumble for the second time, putting him on the list of two-time winners, such as Triple H, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan. So he's in good company. Only three-time winner, if you didn't know. That's Austin 316, Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, hell yeah. But even with those wins, still, and anybody that I was watching, men, the highlight was Sasha Banks and a returning, Melina having a split off. I think Sasha won that. She had the perfect split, but I ain't sleeping on Melina though. She came back thicker than a Snicker, I'll tell you that. But that's just my opinion. And yeah, definitely shout outs to Sasha Banks for that. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, little fun fact, Sasha Banks is the cousin of Snoop Dogg, Brandy, and Ray J. Just thought I'd throw that little fact in there. So it just shows you how much, sports and the culture really mix, and that's what I do. I bring you the best of both worlds and show you how they mix and merge and how it all works out. So we're going to move on to some quick NFL news. The Washington football team, they ain't called the Washington football team no more. They called the Washington Commanders. A lot of people feel indifferent about that name. I don't know what you're going to do to shorten it. I don't know if you're going to say go Commando. That ain't a good look. Go Commies. That ain't a good look. Go Commanders, go. I mean, after 2 years and some change, they finally got a name. Reports was that it was supposed to be called the Washington Red Wolves or the Washington Warriors, but they went with the Washington Commanders. So definitely shout outs to them for finally getting a name, and finally they was the only sports team in any sports field that really didn't have a name, didn't have a last name. They was just called the football team. So you basically couldn't get it confused what sport they play for or what sport they play in. Football. Washington football team. Pretty self-explanatory and obvious if you ask me. Also, Tom Brady, he retired after 22 years. A lot of regular season MVPs. I think 3. I will do my checks, my stats and my checks, when I do my homage to Tom Brady, episode, basically giving him his flowers because he definitely deserved it. And we got a lot of rumbling going on right now with Brian Flores suing 3 NFL teams. And one of the big things that I'm going to report on definitely in the next show, but I just want to throw this out there. He said allegedly the Miami Dolphins owner, now it ain't just one owner of most of these teams. I know it ain't just one owner of the Miami Dolphins. They got a collective group of people that own, individual stake. The last time I checked, J-Lo owes a percentage, Serena Williams she has a percentage in it. And Mark Anthony, they have a percentage ownership stake in the Miami Dolphins. But they got a small percentage. I think it was one of the owners or the main owner that has the main percentage or whatever. They asked Brian Flores to throw games, and every game that he lost, that he would give them 100. The owner would give Brian Flores $100,000 for every game that he threw. And if you know, the Dolphins ended with an actual good record, being 9-8, but he still got fired. Now he's suing the NFL for basically discrimination, how qualified black head coaches basically get overlooked by unqualified white coaches. We ain't saying that you gotta hire a black coach or whatever, because then if you're only just hiring him just because he's black, it just looks like, you know, you're just trying to cover your ass from affirmative action. It just looks like you're trying to make a race quota. Nah, and that shouldn't be the case. There's been a whole bunch of qualified black coaches that basically has been shunned and put to the side for unqualified white coaches. And it's wrong, especially in the NFL. It's wrong. It's wrong in any sport. I could jump over to basketball real quick and give perfect examples of a white unqualified coach getting a job over a black qualified coach. If you look at the Brooklyn Nets, Steve Nash is their coach and been their coach for the past 2 years. Now, Steve Nash, he ain't had no experience as a head coach before the Brooklyn job or an assistant coach before the Brooklyn job. I'm pretty sure Steve Nash is a very, you know, nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He's respected in the league. But why is somebody like Mark Jackson, who has experience, who basically built that Warriors dynasty that got taken over by Steve Kerr, another, you know, unqualified coach. Difference between Steve Kerr and Steve Nash is at least Steve Kerr had some assistant duty, skills, job, whatever you want to call it. He played his part as an assistant for a little bit, not that long, but he was under Greg Popovich, who he has a championship with. But I'm saying that to say this. If people are being discriminated because of the color of their skin in these professional sports, then that's wrong. You got to understand, in any sport, with the exception of hockey, basically, is dominated by black men. And that's just what it is. So why don't we have more black head coaches? Why don't we have more black general managers? Why don't we have, you know, more black, basically, assistants? Right now, the only black coach in the NFL right now is Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a fun fact, sad fact, not fun, but a real sad fact that I learned today is that the New York Giants, the only team in the NFL throughout the history of the NFL, never had a black coach. Never had one. That should say a lot about how the NFL is ran and all of this other stuff. But I will get, you know, deeper into it on the next episode, because it's all breaking news. It's all just in. I'm getting it just as much as you getting it. So we definitely, you know, going to talk about that a lot more and cover the bases. I just like to make sure that I got my facts straight on everything that I'm doing. But now we're going to move on to some basketball, some NBA action. The NBA Rising Stars, you know, contest. That's basically the rookies of this year go against the rookies of last year. The rookies of last year now in their second year. Now, 12 rookies, 12 second-year players, 4 Elite G League players. There's 4 teams of 7. Last year, due to the pandemic, they didn't have the Rising Stars, you know, competition. So now it's going to be 4 teams of 7. And the head coaches of these different teams, Rick Barry, legend, Gary Payton, legend, Isaiah Thomas, legend, and James Worthy, legend. So with these 4 men, they basketball minds and they basketball IQs, look for some good picks to be made, look for some good games to be played. So shout outs to all the rookies and shout outs to all the second years players that's doing their thing. Now we're moving on to the slam dunk contest. Now, I like All-Star Weekend. I really do. The skills competition, the 3-point competition and the slam dunk competition on top of the celebrity game and the all-star game. Don't know who's going to be in the celebrity game yet. Hopefully by the next episode I will know a little bit more about your favorite celebrities being in that game and some of your favorite Hall of Fame old school players that's going to participate in the game too. But right now in the slam dunk contest, got Jalen Green representing the Houston Rockets, Cole Anthony representing the Orlando Magic, Obi Toppin representing the New York Knicks. He's the only one in this competition right now that has prior experience of being in the slam dunk competition. All of these guys are newbies right now. And last but not least, Juan Toscano Anderson representing the Golden State Warriors. Definitely hope they put on the show. Hopefully they do real good, because a lot of people have been complaining that the dunk contest has been trash lately. It ain't been as exciting. Everybody's basically been waiting for the three-point competition to come on last year when it was Steph Curry. Don't know who's going to be in the three-point this year, but it's definitely all going to work out, and we definitely going to see. Now, representing those rookies, I'm going to just name a couple of the rookies that will be representing. Scotty Barnes from the Toronto Raptors, Cade Cunningham from the Detroit Pistons, Josh Giddey from the Oklahoma City Thunder, Jalen Green from the Houston Rockets, Evan Mobley from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Franz Wagner from the Orlando Magic. Now representing the sophomores, we got LaMelo Ball, Charlotte Hornets, Cole Anthony, the Orlando Magics, Anthony Edwards, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Jaden McDaniels representing the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I like these games. I like the skill competition. I like everything that comes with All-Star Weekend. Looking forward to everything that's going off. And speaking of All-Star Weekend and the All-Star Game, jump back into football a little bit. The Pro Bowl is going to be happening, obviously, the NFC versus the AFC. Now, nobody in the Rams and nobody in the Cincinnati Bengals will be playing in this game, because they made the rule that if you play in the Super Bowl, you can't play in the Pro Bowl. I remember when the Pro Bowl actually used to be a week after the Super Bowl. Now it's a week before the Super Bowl. And the Pro Bowl ain't nothing but a glorified flag football game. Can't do too much. You can't tackle. You can't rush the quarterback. You can't really do too much. It's just basically two-hand touch. And that's why the Pro Bowl sucked for real. And it's been sucking for years. Even when they had Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin, being the captains and picking teams, and it was some hot-ass jerseys. And that's the thing, the Pro Bowl always has some nice-ass jerseys. I'll give them that. But the style of play and the rules that's in play, it makes it garbage. It makes you not even want to watch. It makes you want to watch, get my notes out of here. It makes you want to watch the other things that come with being in the Pro Bowl. Like, they have a dodgeball game, between the quarterbacks and the players and stuff like that. They got basically the quarterback challenge. Anybody that remembers, playing that game back in the day, Joe Montana's quarterback club or the regular quarterback club or the quarterback challenge, where you were the quarterback and you went through different stages and you did, different drills, for points and things like that. Madden didn't have that at first, but they wound up adopting that and putting it into the Madden games. Like I said, rest in peace, John Madden. But the Pro Bowl is garbage now. The Pro Bowl is ass. If there ain't nothing else on, I'm going to watch it just for something to do, just to kill time real quick. Will I enjoy it? Probably not. But it's still going to kill time, and it's still going to give me something to do. So that's what I'm going to be on. That's what I'm going to be watching. Now, I told y'all plenty of times that this show is definitely heavily influenced by the hip-hop culture. I'm always going to represent, the hip-hop culture. I am hip-hop. You hip-hop for watching this and for tuning in, and you like how I emerge and do everything, because there is a relationship and there is something big in sports and in music when they combine and go together. We all know that most rappers was athletes or want to be athletes, and we know that most ball players, they want to be, you know, rappers or musicians of any kind. That's why Allen Iverson came out with an album. Kobe Bryant came out with an album. Chris Tucker did a couple songs. Not Chris Tucker, Chris Webber, excuse me. I was just watching Rush Hour. A couple of those guys came out with music, and Chris Webber even produced a song for Nas. You know what I'm saying? But we talking about right now, Eminem is one of the first inductees this year, or nominated this year, to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, I'm kind of disappointed in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because rap music has basically been around since 1979 and probably a little bit before then, but 1979 is when we put the stamp and the name on the culture and what we're going to call, you know, this music. You know what I'm saying? Rap is the music. Hip-hop is the culture and the lifestyle. That's the difference. Rap stands for rhythm and poetry, in case y'all didn't know. What I'm disappointed about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, why is it taking y'all, within the past year, I give y'all props. Y'all been nominating people and inducting people into the Hall of Fame. We done seen, you know, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, LL, and NWA all get inducted, and it's cool and all, and I watched and I applaud that. But Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, why did it take y'all so long to finally accept and acknowledge my culture, to accept and acknowledge my music? You know what I'm saying? And this is where I get mad at rap music and rappers with, because we need our own Hall of Fame. Rap music basically started in South Bronx, New York City. Why can't we have a museum or a Hall of Fame and the whole ceremony and the whole weekend dedicated to us, celebrating our music, celebrating our culture, celebrating our lifestyle? Our music, our culture, and our lifestyle is the most imitated, never really duplicated culture and lifestyle and music that we got. We need to own this. We need to own our music. We need to own our legacy. We need to give each other our flowers while we still living. We shouldn't have to wait for another genre of music to recognize us. We need to start recognizing us right now. Those are just my thoughts and my opinions about it. I could be wrong. I could be right. If you agree or disagree, please comment right underneath. Like I said, please continue to like, subscribe, and share to the Very Blunt Sports Podcast, the official A Nubian Blaze music page. Like I said, soon and very soon, the Very Blunt mixtape will be dropping. Will I be dropping some 16s on there? Will I rap? Will I sing? Will I ad-lib? Just know, I don't know if I'm going to do any of that, but just know I'm the host with the most, here to brag, both celebrate, and toast, and it's going to be fire. And with that being said, be in peace. Love yours. Love yourself. Blunt heads, blunt universe, blunt world. The smoke is clear. The blunt is out. And I'm out.
I don't need a fucking cosigner to post rhymes for controversy. I'm calculated, your validation does not concern me. You created a character you can market, but I'm sharp enough to sharpen my view. Whenever you charge him, I can